All righty. Thank you, ladies. All right, let's go. So we're good to go.
To Twilight Australia for choosing Northam and for coming out here. So Louise for your support, Caitlin. Thank you, Sarah from Carlisle for coming up here. And our wonderful committee who are here, who will introduce themselves shortly. And our committee who are online and our committee who wish they were come here. So thank you very much for all of your support to our Australia. Welcome to our visitors. I think we have a visitor coming from York running late, so we might intervene shortly. My name is Kate. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the treasurer of the library. So thank you for joining us today. A little bit of housekeeping. We are in a fire station here. There are two fire exits. The big one, which is the engine room door and the front, and any restroom. We do have a restroom in the back. And there's tea and coffee in the kitchen. Thank you. We are on Noongar Budja here in Northam, and we certainly give respect to our awesome traditional owners and also to the people of the lands from where you are watching from if you're online. We pay homage every time we borrow and play with our toys. Our traditional owners were the original toy librarians. Their children would play with and then borrow and share toys with their other children in the community. That's just the beginning. We've got a lot to share with you about Northam and our toy library, but it's really hot. Shall we go in and
let's do it?
Welcome, come in and have a look at the inside. Thank you. Oh, great, we can see people on the Zoom, we can see you there. Just a small brief about Northam. So Northam, we're here in WA. Northam is a regional town in the Wheatbelt or the Avon region. Our population has grown to approximately 11 or 12,000. Our toy library is volunteer-led, so we don't have any budgetary funding from our but we rely on membership income or grants or fundraising effort. Our toy library was incorporated in 2008, so we are sweet 16 this year. However, my understanding is from members of the community that the toy library here was operating for decades prior to actually not official. So that's something for our history buffs to look into. At that time, in 2008, we reached our peak membership, which we estimate to be around 100-ish. So that's probably just a bit of a capture of where the size of our toy library. We're located here at the fire station, the old fire station. This premise has been sort of granted to us through the LGA, through one of their leases. And we actually share this space. So we have the men's shed to the back of the property, and we also have the Link Theatre, so our local theatre next door. So it is a bit of a community hub here. Now, 2.5 years ago, so 2021, I think a lot of toy libraries experienced this. We became very low on members. So we were down to 2 members and only 2 and 4. So that was 2021, 2.5 years ago. We $7,000 in the back of the things today is growing as well. As of yesterday, we checked, and our membership is up to 33. So in 2.5 years, we've got a lot to share about how we went about that growth. And it was interesting the opportunity to have this tour and talk. We could take the time to reflect on how we did it. And we might not have done that without this opportunity. So thank you. I can go through the steps of how we did it. And yeah, it's really interesting when we had a look at that. It's a corporate approach that we took to grow our toy. So stay tuned. So the first thing we did, 2 committee members, late 2021, we started off with a purpose. So the two committee members decided that Northam Toy Library would be a place for families to be able to come and build and borrow toys. And it was a really strong purpose. And then we gathered good people who believed in that purpose and were passionate to be able to make things happen. So that was about people with purpose. Then we went about seeking funding for grants and advocating for ourselves in the local community. We love that we're here, by the way, there's more behind that door. We advocate, so we were bold and we went to community leads for the council and we went to Department of Health consultations with communities to tell them that we are. So we did that sort of stuff. We were bold and we were we improved our offering of toys and our community connection. We celebrated volunteers and their wonderful efforts. We sought feedback from our membership as our membership started to grow. We were asking them what they would like. And above all, we really reflected back to our people as being very important. We guarded against burnout volunteers, and that's something that still needs to do today. So, as a summary, the corporate approach that we didn't realise we did, it was people with purpose, it was places, and it was product, which is the toy. So people with purpose, our wonderful, wonderful members who came on board, skilled committee who we decided we would work to our strengths. So a committee member was in a position where they had to undertake a task. It was really difficult. So we worked to our strengths and we tried hard to stay in our lane. We'll talk about more about that later. We were very deliberate about the generational mix of volunteers. So we did target the boomers. We got together to find out if there's any wonderful retirees out there who wanted to come in and help us have some fun. And we're successful in that. So the wonderful Mr. Fix-It is a wonderful Jen who fixes all of our toys, and we also have other volunteers who come on board to do our borrow shifts. We were deliberate about partnering with a local school, which fortunately is actually right across the and we partnered with the Ed Support Unit. And over time, they are providing us with 2 extra opening days. So we open once a week, it's on a Saturday. However, now it's 3 times a week. So the students come in and they manage that session on their own with their teachers. What that gives back to the students though is so helpful. We're always seeking feedback. The students treat the toy library like a unit. So it's not a toy library to them, it's not here for fun. They come in here and open up like this. And we and Siobhan will talk about how we want to strengthen that. About the people, places. So in respect to places, this typical building that we have here, as a way nothing to the actual building was okay. So we really had to advocate with the local government successful in the grant to do some refresh this space. We're very fortunate that we had a committee member who is skilled in that area of delivering scope of works. And as well, I mean, without seeing it before pictures, it might be tricky for the people online, but it's a beautiful, fresh space. It's welcoming. We wanted to have a space where people felt comfortable to visit, they felt welcomed, and I think we're supported in that thanks to the efforts of that particular committee. There were tremendous. We also wanted to make it safe online, so we did not have an online presence or the presence was below. So we did 2 things. We invested in tech, and we bought our online it was really fun. We would come in and have great information for opening into the station, and spent a tremendous amount of effort. Community member in particular, Dr. Nunn, and we all pitched in to help. There was a tremendous amount of effort to cull some toys that need disrepair, but also to freshen up the toys that were fine and could be borrowed. And then as we went about being successful in grant applications, the new toys coming through, cataloguing all of those toys. So that online presence for our catalogue allowed our members to be able to go along and see what we had to offer. So what the best was to them. And we also improved our online presence in socials. That was a bit dormant, and that was really helpful for the community to be able to manage. The last section was the product. So what do we have to offer to the community? Is our toys. Our toys and also our presence in the community. So we have a strong connection with other EY groups who really put a lot of effort into being the toy library, being a citizen of the community. So we're connected with our playgroup and other EY groups so that we could be present, we could cross-pollinate ideas between the EY groups, and we're banded together on occasion to apply for grants to deliver fun and play sessions for free because we got together. So that was our presence in the community. The main thing, which we'll talk about next, is toys. So we wanted to have the product for all community members to be sought after. We wanted to help them live safe. We wanted to help the environment, reducing landfill. We wanted families to be able to learn their toys and provide education development for their kids without having to clutter at home. So we really believed in that product. We spent a tremendous amount of effort pitching our case to local business owners who provided sponsorship. So they were happy with that. $50 here or $100 there. One was $500. It's a write-off for them, and it really boosted the initial improvement of all of our toys. And then the product, the final bit of having a product for our community is this space has become a product. So now that the space is as beautiful and fresh and welcoming and inviting as it is, we've partnered with the local breastfeeding association, the AEA, the Breastfeeding Association, and they hold their meetings here. Space. We have a beautiful rocking chair here that you can see, and it's a perfect little size for the group while it's starting to expand. So if they get too big, that's awesome. We think that would be a great 6 months too big to have their meetings here, and that we were able to help with that. And again, it's possible, and that's the benefit of linking with other EY groups. So that's the corporate approach that we didn't realise we could.
I might have mentioned about the kids, but I walked back in when you were talking about the early years. Like I think that was something that was really profound in whatever it was, 21. There was nothing happening, like literally nothing in this community. And this is a regional centre, and it was just quite astounding. And so no playgroup, there was nothing happening for in the early years space. And it really is the Troy Library that stepped up. And yeah, I like the fact that you're saying that you're bold. Shameless, getting out there. Yeah.
We were bold. And I think self-advocating is so important, isn't it? I mean, teaching our kids, we want our kids to self-advocate. So as a community group, I guess we treated Toy Library like it's an entity. We wanted it to be bold and self-advocating.
Well, there wasn't. So yeah,
there wasn't anything.
The whole of the community now, when we came up for the opening, now this is a place that the broader Northam community sees as something that they're really done.
Where we try to represent or show the other groups and what that welcome to take a picture on their phone. We quite often put on events together. So Maren hosted an egg hunt for Easter. It was so much fun. That was playgroup and toy library getting together, and we had some great funding to do that for free. I think that's really important.
If I put on my playgroup hat. Hi, I'm Lauren. The toy library was able to sponsor the Northam Playgroup to run events, and it's really helped the Northam Playgroup become bigger, grow our membership, use that sponsorship from running events to grow our own sensory things. And we use the toy library sensory trays and equipment to run these really big events that people from around the region, around the wheat belt, will come and attend. So it's been amazing for the toy library to get that reach through the playgroup and partner up and expand offerings to the community.
You're not based in,
Sorry?
you're not based in the playgroup.
No, the playgroup is based over at the Northern Primary School. And the playgroup was kind of started by the primary school, and then the toy library and playgroup have just kind of become really good buddies and yeah, grown a lot. So yeah.
Was taught back in the beginning when the venue at the school wasn't quite established. I think it was touch and go there for a while. There was talk of playgroup coming here and co-locating, but there's no room. So perfect. So Mark, can you
Okay, yeah. We'll go on to see some of the toys and some of the projects we've done to get toys. So I'll lead you into this room over here. Yeah. See some of the toys. So straight away as you walk in, and let me know if you can hear me okay, or if I need to be louder or quieter. Right here, we've got a new sign. We put up new signs. This one says First Toys. We made a conscious effort to do two things with our signs, at least two things. One is every sign is a different color, so it's quickly distinguishable by people who may not have strengths in reading. And secondly, labeling them in generic or neutral ways to encourage people that even if so instead of us calling it baby toys, we called it First Toys because it might be more suitable to other people who are not babies. And this was part of our disability project funded by the Toy Library Australia's. We had 4 big grants and also another project for business donations, having a category of business memberships. Correct me if I'm wrong in anything, please. that they could help become a member and then donate toys and help support the toy library. So the disability project was one of our great big projects to improve and grow our toys available. We had another project called the STEAM and Break the Bias project that was funded by Forest Hill, and that focused around science and costumes. The other one was Move Your Mind, Move Your Body, also funded by Forest Hill, and an active play funded by Chalice Mining. So I'll talk a little bit about those. I'm not going to go and lead you around because it's a bit loud. So needs of our community better and take actions to welcome people with disabilities into our toy library. So we looked for feedback from our volunteers and we liaised with the school across the road that we were talking about, that they've come and helped open extra days for us. And they also advised what toys they want to see more of, what things that they found helpful for, gave us some great ideas to help have really great collection. We also learned that mixing up our toy selection to offer toys representative of our traditional custodians was really important. So we've got gender neutral dolls, and we've got tapping sticks. We've got some beautiful collection of dolls and houses and small playthings and music and all sorts of stuff there. The STEAM and Break the Bias project. So science and costumes. You can see it right through here. That might be, you can kind of hear go this way. We've got this here. STEM, school skills and sensory. So STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics. And the specifically focused toys on these areas still requires a bit of attention. Right now, we've got about half a section for each letter, STEAM, but we would love to have a whole thing on each section. The focus around this one is to grow imaginations. What can you get your brain to start doing, thinking outside of the box and nourish those creative, imaginative plays. Our costumes, which are over that way, where we can go this, yeah, all right, we'll go battle the noise.
Okay, people love to see all the aspects.
We've got a selection of costumes that we've started replacing that are more neutral than here, let me go this way in the sun. Your gender stereotypes. So having them be neutral and let's see, where's a good example of that? We've got police officer instead of policeman, and yep, so here's one. We've got a NASA engineer. Firefighters instead of firemen, that kind of
So
thing.
much better these days too, aren't they? Like
They're-
in terms of what do we call it, the variety of dress ups you can get. It's actually really gender neutral. It's about professionalism. It's about aspiring to be NASA, astronaut, police officer.
Anyone can be anything.
Yeah, it's not just like princess and king and queen type thing. You know? Changing.
It's a lot about that imagination and you're borrowing your firefighter outfit and you've also got your kitchen that goes on fire and you spray out the kitchen. Kind of just mixing and putting, you've got your doctor's gear with your doctor outfit. Yeah. So the next one, we'll move this way to the active play. This is the project Move Your Body, Move Your Mind. The project is designed to improve your active play, big gross motor skills. Apparently, today's kids average 7 hours daily in front of electronics, whether that's on the phone or TVs or at school on tablets. That's our lifestyle these days. So this grant is to give us some options so that parents have options. And especially in my family, I don't have grandparents and aunts and uncles nearby, so I rely heavily on screens to be able to do the babysitting, and having access to free toys has made it extremely helpful to give them something new, something different that I'm not having to take for. Exactly, storing at the house. Yeah. So swapping over active play for a sedentary lifestyle is improving health physically as well as mentally. The last, well, not the last. This is actually just more part of active play from Chalice Mining. Yeah, so it was more around, so not just big outside, but constructing, being active with your more fine motor skills. So we have a great collection of building things, and they vary from balancing, which is, you're using your fine motor skills. What is this one? But when we use this one at home, it's very precarious. So it's not just stacking blocks. It's the whole thing around how can I put this together and have it feel the way I want, stay the way I want. So that was the other active play as part of my, what do you call that? Fine motor skills. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about
Yeah.
it? Might be coming up in a minute, but around how did you get to use the terms construction small world ride-ons, because
That's a good
each of these would probably slide into other categories.
You could
right?
totally do that, and especially with.
I get so confused about this for our library.
How did you
Yeah.
categorize things?
How do you we're going to put this here. It doesn't matter what number it is, like C14 or whatever. It's a construction category.
How did you? So Katie might know more about this, but I'm going to waffle for a little bit, and you tell me if I've got this incorrect. So we use the category. The question is, how did we put toys in what categories? How did we decide on the categories? I believed we looked at other toy libraries to see how they did it, and then looked at our collection and see, okay, do we have those sort of things to use that kind of category? And then it's kind of going to our members, and I would reflect on my own, how are my kids using this toy? One of the trickiest ones I came across was dolls and figurines, because small world, they're tiny versions of us. Dramatic play, we're also right. So there's no wrong way to do it. It's whatever works best for your system and how everybody's brains work differently. So how your committee's brains work is going to be what the go is. But
And also
looking at others, yeah,
space as well.
and space as well, yeah.
Because we find that we've got like obviously a huge section of imagination, for example.
Yeah.
But it could be broken down into smaller,
You know, if you find that your members are really struggling to put things away, then that might be a sign you need to categorize into a smaller grouping. Or hard to find things.
find stuff. We've got so much.
Okay, so if it's hard to find things, you might have a look. Yeah, see how other toy libraries do it. I don't know if you can ask any, there's people who are organization nerds who would love to be able to.
I've been fortunate to inherit part of our system from teachers. So teachers are all over resourcing and how they stack and share. We put our wonderful committee member who was leading the toys and the toy buying and packaging, put a lot of effort thinking around how we package. So these containers are all by design and all thought of to be the same, so we can stack and still see the toy really easily. So the packaging is really helpful, and we decided to build that into our grants going forward. So it's something that we haven't really thought of is the cost of cataloguing and the cost of buying containers. So build that into your grant.
But also a reflection on growth. Because in 2021, this room was just a collection of toys with zero categorization. No categorization, just a bunch of toys, maybe in some old Duna cupboards. Nothing, like certainly not what you see now. So in terms of growth and change, significant what we see now.
Just do it.
So those are the top good growth.
The
The funders, do we have the names? Oh, sorry, we can go through so we had Toy Libraries Australia, Forest Hill, Chalice Mining, and then business donations, where we created that membership type of businesses who would donate, and they would get a post on social media and big thanks and photos taken.
No, I love.
All
Yeah. There were other grants selection.
Hi, I'm Siobhan. I'm the Vice President here at Northam. And I feel that as a toy library, we're in a really sweet spot at the moment. We have a wonderfully curated and manageable toy collection, an amazing committee, a great membership base, and so much opportunity for growth. We have additional spaces available to us within this building, and the benefit of being able to grow in a sustained way, being mindful of our toys versus members versus committee versus space ratio. As was mentioned before, based on feedback from our wonderful students at St. Joe's, our next goal is to grow our sensory and small world collection through applying further grants. We aim to continue to strengthen our positions within the community by continuing to create reciprocal and mutually beneficial relationships. We currently have non-member volunteer streams through collaborating with the students at St. Joe's, who are now extending their program and have their students teaching their other students how to operate within this space. We have support through our local men's shed who are behind us. As mentioned, the local Mr. Fix-It, local volunteers who assist with running sessions and keeping our space clean. And we even have committee members who aren't actually members of our toy library. Moving forward, we plan to continue linking in with other community groups. We've had great fun in hosting get-togethers with the other local early years groups and hope to expand on that by connecting in with some of our aged care services and sort of bridging that multi-generational gap with play. We would like to continue to advocate for toy libraries. We're grateful for the opportunity to take part in a talk and tour like this. I had heard just recently that when the OGs of this committee started up, They had spoken after visiting another toy library talking tour about how fantastic it would be to get to the place where we were able to be hosting. So well done to those who set that goal and then reached it. I think supporting a more sustainable approach to imagination, learning, movement and play is vital in this fast-paced, screen-based world. So linking in and forming positive relationships with other families and with other groups in the community really sort of boosts that, brings awareness to the importance of play. Having sessions set up in the park where we take along a selection of our toys. We have like wonderful play group doing bubbles. Like Noni sort of gives people the opportunity to see what we have, but to join in a way that's not threatening. So we have some pretty big plans in place to continue working on the space that we have and on growing space. You can see we've got these stairs leading upstairs. We're currently in the pipeline of having talked about getting a stair lift put in to be able to access that space regardless of your ability to get up and down the stairs. That's actually a really big, open, lovely space up there. Behind our ride-ons, we have an enclosed veranda. So we're currently in talks with the men's shed about dividing that space and just giving us yet more space. At the moment, we'll use it for back of house work because it's not fit for our members to go in just yet. But hopefully, you know, the right grant application, and we can have that space fixed up and ready to go. Yeah, as Katie had mentioned, we do have the Breastfeeding Association have their meetings here. I think it'd be very interesting to see what other community groups may benefit from having access to our space and how we go about facilitating that. And there's lots of ideas turning around sort of alternative streams as well, such as having like supervised contact sessions with the Department of Child Protection being held here. Yeah, so I think our future seems to just be in continuing to grow, supporting those family connections, fostering friendships, and continuing to foster connections within our community, and doing all we can to gain the support that the committee needs to not suffer from the dreaded burnout. I think we're in a really sweet spot where there's no rush to get anything done at this point. You know, our president can go on maternity leave and not have to worry. You know, other members, your committee members can have a normal life where things do come up and know that the other members have got it, because we've done the big push to get, you know, the corporate approach, the place and the people and the product, and now we get to just grow. Yeah, it's been really wonderful to be a part of.
Beautiful. Alrighty. Me too. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness, I am actually overwhelmed with how wonderful you guys have done. So hats off to you all. This is absolutely amazing. We'll do a quick little just walk around. So if you do have any questions that you want to ask and you're in the chat group, pop them in the chat while I do just a little slower walk around. Hopefully I don't make you seasick. And then we might move back out there. And then if there's any questions, we can answer them in like a little panel sort of situation. So I'll give you 5 minutes. So let me just turn around. That's a great question. Beach toy. Hmm. So, alrighty, one of the girls are just having a 2-second break. Is there any part of the library while I'm here that you wanted to see more or me to zoom in on? Feel free to unmute yourself now and just quickly ask.
So Nicole, it's asked about the getting businesses. So how to get the businesses on board. She's made a comment saying, how can they find out donations made to you if you don't have DGR status? That's true. They probably actually technically.
So in terms of getting the businesses on board, it was in 202, late 2021 to 2022. So it was at a time where
Sorry,
starting
this
to
this
be a community
sorry,
again.
Caitlin, this
We wrote
this room
to each
seems to be
business
the worst room.
Audio for the noise.
Sorry, Nicole, we'll move for you.
Sorry, it's the worst room for the signal. It breaks up so much that we don't get to hear what is actually being said.
Okay, we'll move for you. Thank you. All right, hang on. Maybe. Is that better, lady?
Heaps better.
That was a good point about deductible gift recipient status. We've tried multiple times and visit to Centrelink to get that status up and going, and we just didn't seem to have the right piece of paper to submit that fit the right boxes, and we just haven't tried again. And so what the businesses did with that, we were told from the businesses that they were claiming it. That's their thing. That's not up on us. So they, in terms of how we went about it, it was laboursome. So we emailed a letter, a powerful letter that explained our purpose and the benefit that we could provide to the community, and that we wanted to help that. Sorry, that sounds good. Welcome. Come through. And to multiple businesses. So it took a person to methodically go through a list of businesses who we wanted to target. And our return rate, I think, well, Rachel's not here, but I think our return rate was about 60% of the businesses responded and were happy to sponsor us. So it's a lot of work. It was so worthwhile. It's looking back now, it added up to $5,000 over 30 businesses. So it did include some of the politicians as well. So definitely get onto that line of it, and a lot of the big guys like the case. Well, we're in the wheat belt, so the machinery, farming suppliers, we went for the big guys, and the little businesses were happy to support as well in any way that they wanted to. So we didn't put a dollar figure on the email, but that might be a strategy to put sort of 3 levels of support options. Very laboursome, very worthwhile. $5,000 was, we refreshed so many toys and also culled old toys. So we were able to improve the quality of our whole collection because we could get rid of old toys. By replacing them with the new ones.
Beautiful. We have another question. Someone's just asked, how many members do you currently have and how many toys?
So 33 members. The toys though, Mara, and that might be yeah, we can. I will while Marin's looking for that number, I will caveat that whatever the result is to say that we culled. So to raise the quality of our collection, we had to get rid of some old toys. So obviously that drops down your toy number. And also we decided to join together some individual toys to be, say, 5 individual toys we put together as one borrow. So for instance, we had a whippersnipper, like a Husqvarna whippersnipper chainsaw, blower vac, and something else. They were all individual borrows. We decided to join those together to be one toy, so they borrowed the set. So that obviously reduces the number of toys. So 405 is our number.
But maybe you've got sticks in the back that need to be processed to come in, an assortment of donations that need to get sorted upstairs.
Yes. Yes, so there's a lot. And we were discussing yesterday that idea of having a ratio or a goal in mind of how many toys we wanted, in terms of it being a ratio to how many members we have and how many volunteers we have to manage that. We haven't done the maths, but I think that'll be the next step, is to how many toys is enough for how many members we want to grow to be able to service those members.
And to loop back to the DGR conversation, the DGR is, so Toy Libraries Australia has got DGR status primarily, obviously so that we can do things for the larger collective, but also so that we can actually auspicious things that require DGR status, and so that does give that option to Toy Libraries. If you had a business that wanted to donate to you and be able to claim on tax, they can donate through Give Now, and then it just comes through us to you. So Helen, Office Manager Helen, actually processes that. So for the most part, most people that have Toy Libraries that have done this, like getting local businesses to donate, it is, yeah, like local businesses. If they put it through on their tax, that's on them, and whatever, and or they really don't mind. They're actually quite happy. It's not about tax. They're actually donating to the local Toy Library because they believe in the local Toy Library. So like most often Toy Libraries that are doing it, it's not a problem. But if you did have a business that wanted to make a more significant donation for you, so it became important, they can donate through Give Now.
Okay. Would you recommend that Toy Libraries go down that rabbit hole of getting an individual DGR?
So not unless you're in, like you guys kind of spoke about strengths of the Toy Library and strengths of your committee. If you had a committee that had that kind of governance piece is really strong, then you might want to visit it, and certainly Toy Libraries have. But if you don't need to, and you're finding that you're getting the grants that you need without that, then it's, you know, it's always a balance, isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful. Your awesome square device. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh my gosh.
I'll just go and show them.
The question is, yeah, do you want the question?
Yes, I just wanted to touch on the square device and how you managed to.
We'll have a look at it
Have
and
a
then
look
come
at
back.
Thank you. Talk about that. Actually, have you an electronic method? Oh, yeah, just touch it. So we can take donations through FPOS. We can take membership through FPOS. This square device, this is just an iPad, so it's any old iPad. We've specifically bought the size that fits into this square device. The name of this device I can't remember, but I'll get for you. So this square device has a built-in FPOS here. So if we were to, I'll get it to light up. There we go. Oh my gosh. Did that stop your Zoom? Did that impact your Zoom? Oh my gosh.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
You just paid $60.
I donated $60 to Northam
I just can't remember.
of the Northam Toy Library. Hang on, let's get back. Where are we? That's okay. Goes to show you how well it works.
So
Yeah.
the device, I'll bring it forward. It's really cost effective. So it was only $90. or something like that.
$90.
It was
That's cheap.
It was
Yeah.
cheap. It's on a swivel, so members can come in. The way we go about our borrow sessions is we have a return desk, and behind us is the borrow desk. So when members come in, we have a device set up on both desks. The borrow desk is self-service, so our members know how to use settles to borrow their own toys and check that all the bits are there before they take it. We're here to support. That's primarily self-service. The return desk has the swivel. So if we have new members turn up on the day, we can easily swivel this around so they can make their payment. They can PFT as well if they want to. That's okay.
Do you have to pay fees or?
Yeah, there is. So each transaction has a merchant fee. We have built that into how we charge. So we have a little 1.9% that we add on to the charge. There are regulations involved with using Square. For instance, if you wanted to have this sort of customer catalogue built into Square, there's privacy regulation around that. So we opted not to do that. So each purchase is just a purchase. We don't record any of the actual car details. We don't record the person's name or anything like that.
Who set it up and how easy was it? I just put it in a box in my house.
Oh, you got it? Yeah. Yeah. So get it out of the box, get your iPad, like it's cool.
We got the EFOS machine.
The little,
Oh yeah.
No, the
the actual Square machine.
The Square machine. Cool. So there's an online portal that sits at the back end, and that did take some doing. So we did set that up ourselves. We did trip up a few times in relation to having things like you have to set up. The toy library is a customer of Square, and there was a bit tricky. I think Square, you have to be a human. So we needed an actual person to take on that responsibility of being the contact. So there's those sorts of things. So yeah, set up the back end account, and that's where you set up these the presets. So all of that's in the back end. So yeah, even before you get it out of the box, just all of that first. And then once you get your, you don't have the iPad, so it's just on a phone.
No, it's not a machine, it's the EFOS machine.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen that one. So do you type the amounts in, or are they preset? Like that. Yeah, cool. So all of that, part of that portal is that it links to the device that you bought. So that's part of setting up your account. So once you've done that back end stuff, it's like magic.
You need it out. You need time to
It's time.
It is
time, and that's something that we have to be careful of, don't we? Yeah.
Beautiful. You switch back. Any other questions from those online? Couple of minutes to think.
Yeah, cool. Who do we have online? It's your cruise there?
No, I haven't. It's not only calling.
Nicole's just huge well done. And the space looks amazing. So just some feedback from your other toy library family.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
It's so clean and visually appealing. I think it's all the white.
Yeah,
we were
very
Yeah, we've got lots of toys for colour. That's it. I have a question, and that's for all of the committee. So or the committee that's here today. I am mindful that we are at 2 o'clock, so we'll probably wrap up shortly. But how did you personally get involved in the toy library, first of all? And secondly, why did you join your committee? Yeah, so how did you get involved? And then why did you join the committee? That's my question. So anyone want to go first?
Oh, how to be as a person.
And then why did you join the committee? Anyone? Beautiful, thank you.
Involved with the toy library from another homeschooler about the toy library. I'll go along and check it out, see what kind of resources they have. I think when I came along, that afternoon they were having the AGM. And we're needing more committee members. And so I said, sure, why not? And that's how I ended up here.
Beautiful.
Anyone else?
Yeah, sure.
I heard about the toy library, and it was on my list of things to do for about 6 or 8 months before it actually came in and borrowed and became a member. And the reason was because I don't have a lot of place for storage, and new toys. I love playing with toys as much as I can, so it's fun for me. And then I had been asked by the president to join or to consider joining on the committee. And I had just stepped off of all of my committees that I had gotten very burned out from. And I was like, oh, that's very kind. I'm happy to volunteer whenever. And then there was no pressure, but the AGM was about 4 months later. And I looked at the committee and I thought, I like all of these people. And there's been no pressure and no one seems like they're just, trying to get out. So, okay, I'll give it a go and I'll do a little bit. And then it's been, gosh, I don't know how long I've been on the committee now. Is it a full year or is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's come up a few times in conversations and in person and on the internet of don't burn yourself out. Don't do what you can't do. Don't push yourself. When you can do it, just do it. And that's been really helpful to want to be involved. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, just updating. Any final questions? We might just move in that room because one of the girls has just said, you're in the room again. This room is not very, mustn't be very sound. Sorry for those online. Yeah.
We won't tell them that's because it's where the food is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh, I actually have an older child as well. He's 16, and do you know back then I didn't join. So confession. Yeah. Yesterday, oh gosh, on reflection, I actually didn't join. It was at that time in my life, it was too much responsibility to look after someone else's toys. And what if I broke something and I have to volunteer and give my time? Oh my gosh, it's all too much. So on reflection, I thought that's learning, isn't it? And then fast forward 16 years, 13 years when I joined. I joined because of that strong purpose. And it was the people who had that purpose, and I really wanted to be involved in that. And I had some skills to share, and I had time, and I liked the idea of having an outlet to connect. And I was really passionate about offering connection, offering a space for people and other groups to be able to connect. So that was my lane. As being able to contribute to the community. That's why I joined. 13 years.
Between?
No, in between. So no, not 13 years.
Between
no,
kids.
not at all. Between kids.
You still win.
Yeah.
You still win.
You've been the longest. We actually awarded a life member a couple of years ago. So you guys could share notes. But yeah, I've been a member for 3 years. And I'm committee staff.
Did I miss the conversation about who's on the committee and how many? Did I miss that?
No, we didn't. That's a great question. So how many on your committee? And yeah.
7.
One of your
8 on the committee.
one of your girls, I think she's online. She's just said, well done, team. So she couldn't be here in person.
Yeah.
So
We have 8 on committee, and there's 3 of us here today, and 1 online, and a couple who really wanted to be here. So
Do you have like the governance structure in the committee too? So you've got your executives and then you've got a bunch of people that are general committee?
yeah, so president, secretary, treasurer, I think are the exec roles. But then we've appointed roles such as the toy buyers group. So there's 3 people who that's their interest. It's fun.
Yeah.
So we sort of hope to align with people's interests and strengths to take on those roles. So there's a toy buyers group, there's grants, there's the community EY staff, there's the places section, which is the online presence in this building. What else do we have? Toys, grants, EY, the building, rostering, good point, rostering. I know that other toy libraries have like sort of an insurance governance person. Our secretary does that. So I think I happened by chance to visit South Perth Toy Library a couple of days ago. Should I mention that? It completely by chance I was in South Perth and their sign was out. They had their borrow session. Now South Perth, and I've taken a picture of this. They have a poster of their org chart. Yeah, So there's a poster, and each position of their organisation has a square on the poster, and each AGM, which stuff there doesn't mind me sharing this, each AGM they put a photo of the person who's taken on that role. So I think what that communicated to me is members can see who's volunteering their time. Members can see who's running the ship, and if members see a vacant square on that poster, they know if they're interested in taking on that role, it's just that role. So they want that guarding against volunteer burnout. I thought that was a great initiative. That's your role. You won't get lumped with all the other roles because they're full. Yeah.
Is it like something that they created, or is it something they've actually bought?
I'll let
Good one. Sounds like a great
Great
question.
I've created it because I didn't see it, I've seen that before, so I'd say it.
So I'm trying to.
And I put it up and I just didn't notice it.
Yeah. So good. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll probably wait up to you.
That's all right. We can chase stuff.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So simple, so straight.
So simple, but how effective in communication.
Having Canva to try and create something like this, but I think I might just be trying to make it complicated.
Yeah.
Template.
Yeah.
Just so that I'm following.
Put it on the wall.
Great space. All right. Last call for questions, if there's any. We'll just see if oh, it keeps telling me there's new ones, but I'm not seeing if there's any. Just double check. Sorry, we're going into the bad audio room.
I just think that they've done an amazing job, and I'm very jealous of their space.
Jodie, do you want to say that again? Sorry. Sorry, just got some feedback from our online people. So hang on, I'll let me turn around so you don't have to look at my face. Go again, Jodie.
I just think you've done an amazing job, and we're very jealous of your space.
We understand that there's toy libraries around Australia who have many varied spaces. So we do thank you. It is a reminder. We're very grateful for this space that we have, and thank you to the Shire of Northam for providing the space to us.
Because again, I think the first conversation I had with that committee in 2021, there was a discussion, an in-depth discussion about whether this is a space to stay in, because it was so not fit for purpose at that point. So it's incredible. Everyone should be jealous, but it's incredible work of this committee to actually make it this space, because it was not this space, and there was a view to, is this the best place to be?
Yeah, we nearly moved. The space was not what it is now, so we're very pleased now.
The section, I really like the room.
Yeah.
I love that room feel. Ours is one big open space.
Yeah.
And it's hard to create that feel of areas. No, but this is really nice because you go in that room and your mind gets changed again, and you go into you're away from people coming in at one time. And again, it's nice to go into no one in here to look at the games, away from other people with their children, trying to think about what was tomorrow. So I like room.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, ladies from Northam. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to everyone who has joined us online, showing the support for these guys in their toy library. We will stop our little recording and our viewing there. If you do think of any other questions later on, feel free to send them through, and we can pass them on to the ladies. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to answer them and share the information. But yes, thank you all for joining us today. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you soon.
Thank you so much. If we could just get some of the notes, especially from the beginning, because we missed almost the whole beginning section in that room dropping in.
Underneath it,
Yeah.
I was thinking during it that we might try and put the like a transcribe on. We might have a play with it this week.
That'd be amazing. Thanks so much, ladies. Thanks, everyone.
No worries. Get well, Nicole.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, if we grab the notes for them, I think should be able to put out like a transcribe underneath. We should try and do it, and then we've got to read
Bye, James.
Yeah, like because we can turn it on during. I haven't played in Zoom to see if we can, because we've got